We are live. That's right. We are live, and we are live in a windstorm. Okay, there's a rainstorm happening live here at LA School of Comedy, where magic happens. And I'm going to tell you how it happens. You look in your bed, pull back the covers, and they're lying there waiting for you, glimmering, moist, dewy, with a hard shell. It's a snail in my bed. A snail in my bed, which I think I took out of my pocket for some reason, which I don't even know why I had a snail in the bed. What we're doing is obviously showing you how things go in the real world of comedy. We are setting up later. Do you know why? Because it rained. Now, New Jersey laughs at LA all the time. I was supposed to meet somebody for coffee once, and she said, it's supposed to rain. And I go, what's that supposed to mean? I don't understand what that's supposed to mean. And I don't like this stool. I want my stool back. This makes me feel like I should be putting this in the bathtub while I shower. And how would I know about that? Because I had surgery. So, now I'm a sit-down comic. I'm having, first of all, welcome to the show. You guys are here. Welcome to the show. Give it up for Ryan Benson and for Samantha Lindenberg being here. And Sean, of course, you're just thinking about March 17th. But you know something? That only means something to Catholic school kids. And people who do like to imbibe. Because it's funny. My friend, Earl McGuffin, that's who you remind me of. That's who you remind me of. I was trying to figure out who you reminded me of. And mind you, Earl McGuffin is Irish and black, not Swedish and black. And we're not related at all. We weren't related at all. And people were like, are you twins? And it was funny because he had green eyes. And he just had this way about him. And that's you. Because when you make a face, it's like when Sam can make one that can just curdle new milk. Okay? And I hope you do that for everybody that breaks this thing. This is my third one. How many microphones? This one guy said, man, it was so good I had to drop the mic. And I'm just like, why don't you bring your own and then we can throw them? We'll play toss. I can't begin to tell you what I've been through. And I know, I'm going to wrap it up. Look at him. Wants to get out. I didn't even do anything. He's like, you got to know how concerned my family was about me having this surgery. They were so concerned that they left the lock on the door when I was trying to get in the house so I could get back to the hospital to get done. And then the guy starts telling me, trying to make me laugh, and I don't know why. And he goes, I'm really not an anesthesiologist. He goes, I'm Ken Jung or something like that. And I was just like, dude, like, you're not Ken, and I know that, okay? Like, really, because Ken would be up my ass. And he has to. It was his job. He was a doctor. And he is a doctor. And I just want to tell you that I waited till 2 o'clock in the afternoon for 2 bagels and a bottle of water. Now, this is not here. This is in New York, where I'm on the 3rd floor. So finally, that's nice, like she brought it up. My husband comes in maybe 15 minutes later and says, you got another bagel? Dude, you've been out all day. You guys are walking. You're not on crutches. You're not on anything. Let me tell you a story about the best doctors in LA. May I? I will. I'm told I've got to go to the best. She's $500, no insurance, but this is the best. First thing she says to me, I hear you're supposed to be a comedian. And you're supposed to be a doctor. Is this how we start the conversation, doctor? She wants to know if I know a particular individual, which I do. It's a test because the girl doesn't like me. And I don't like her. But we smile as though everything's good. And I said, I think I've broken my toe and I need an x-ray. And he says, nothing you do about that. And I'm like, did she ever see a black foot before? Okay, because you have to touch them. That's your job, is to touch my feet. And I said to her, well, can you tell me what's wrong? And she goes, well, it's typical normal feet for a 47-year-old, that does stand-up. And I said to myself, wow, not only are you lying to me, I'm lying to you. And I don't understand how this is working. And I just want an x-ray. And there's nothing you can do about it. And I thought, maybe could we do a mold on my foot? Because there's something wrong. Because you didn't know this. I was in an Uber accident. And the Uber hit me. And then it backed up and hit us again. I was a passenger. they have now lied and given me a Chinese man's name as a driver, and this guy is from Russia. I know all his business by the time we got to the airport. I'm better than Sam Lindemann, okay? When it comes to Uber people, we know our people. His name was Arturo. He's screaming, I have to go to the hospital. I said, I have to get to United. I got to get home because it's Thanksgiving Eve. And the only reason I'm telling you this is because when I got to Manhattan and they checked my foot, they had to open it to take out the bone that had split, and it was a shard in my foot. Now, is this tacky of me to stop payment on this doctor? Is that like, I mean, is it? Isn't that crazy? Can't you give me an x-ray? That's all I wanted is an x-ray. She never saw black feet before. I'm telling you. She was just like, oh, that hoof is different. Just once in a while, you feel it. You feel it. It's like, you feel it. Like when I went shopping at my favorite place, Trove. And she said, can I help you? And I said, can you please stop following me? And I didn't be so clear about it, but I just was so clear about it. Because I see so many people stealing and you guys never stop them. The tricks of the trade. And the best are the gypsies. I worked in a dry cleaners. Man comes in, his last name is White, doesn't have his ticket. I give him, I go to him, no, because I know these gypsies. Right? I go, no. You're going to sign for this before you take these out, and I'm responsible for this payment, right? And he signed for it. Then Mr. White came in an hour later, and I was responsible for the entire bill. They took it out of your paycheck when that happened. So you're not interested in any of that world of dry cleaners, but you'll find so much cocaine, hash, and marijuana that you will not believe it. You have husbands running in for their jackets. God forbid I tell their wife what I found. Listen, like I told the one wife, the good news is it wasn't used. Here's the thing. I met the strangest people in this cleaners. It was called Hourglass Cleaners. And the one girl had a terrible lisp, and she would say, Hourglass Cleaners, every time she answered the phone. And one of my boyfriends, listen, it sounds terrible. But yeah, I see one guy in Florida, and I got one guy, the Japanese guy's in Jersey, right? And dude, this is so crazy. My flowers get delivered, and I gotta hide them because this guy in Florida sends them every Saturday to my job and the cleaners. So I'm in the back. I'm not even supposed to. I mean, I'm drinking a soda, right? A Coke, of course. And I turn around, and a friggin' roach crawls in my soda. And I gotta put my flowers away on top of it all. So I pay this guy and tell him in Spanish to bring it to my friend at another store to hold it for me. She gets it mixed up and brings them back to me in front of my boyfriend, not the one from Florida. He says, I've had it, baby. You're cheating on me. He sits there, right? He walks out the room. I light a cigarette. I'm like, oh, my God. I put it out in the soda. I turn around. When I came back, he's guzzling the can of soda with the roach and the friggin' cigarette. Is that one of the worst things you could do to somebody? And not tell them? What could I say? I know. So I just wanted to share all those things with you because I am working on a one-person show, and I never do time here. And we are all of us who've ever, if you know me, we're going to have a person just say one bit. And I started the test on Facebook. And I said, tell me a funny story about me that you can remember. And everybody said, I will call you. So I'm afraid of what they're going to write. But I just think it's funny that I never saw myself the way other people saw me. You know, like somebody said to me, oh, you're just like the rest of the Italian girls, always running around. I was like, Italian girls? He goes, yeah, the big hair, the big mouth. And I was like, oh, I didn't think I had a big mouth. I just made believe that I had a big mouth. Why am I saying these dirty jokes tonight? Because I'm feeling very dirty. I feel very bad. I have a baby toe issue. I mean, it's just a baby toe. You should see it. 8 stitches in one toe. How do you find room for this? Sean, it's Sean, right? Because that's so racist of me to call you Sean and you're Irish. Because it could have been Patty, it could have been Shannon, but it's not. It's Sean. Sully. You know, that's true, Sully. But a lot of Jews, Solomon from England, that's why they go with Sully. You know Sully? Do you know Sully? He's cute, blonde, Pico Robinson. Okay. It's Robertson, by the way, but I have cotton mouth, so I can't speak. And the reason is because I was eating cotton. And right now, you guys are ready for a show, all right? Because there's no business like, hey, walking in the rain and the snow, there's nowhere to go. You got a place to go right here at LA School of Comedy. If people tell you you're funny, you probably are, but you won't know until you make it from the page to the stage. And that's why Sean Manish is coming up right now. Are we doing it right? Yeah. Okay, ready? Let's go. Let's do it. Give it up for Sean. Yes.
Wow. Wow. Put this over here so I don't dance with it. Get disowned. Banned for life. 86th, as they say. They used to say. They say that anymore? You know what it is to get 86th? Kicked out for life.
You didn't know?
Kicked out for life. Or if you're at a restaurant and they're out of the chowder, 86 chowder. 86 chowder, Sam. They're going to read the board, 86 board. Out of chowder, we only got 2 orders of scampi left. All right. But that's not what this bit's about. I had a birthday recently.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. People love to complain about birthdays and getting older. And, I've wanted to get older my whole life. I really have. And so far, so good. And people love to drop the wisdom on you when it's your birthday. Like, oh, life goes by so fast. Don't blink. You'll miss it. Time flies. Love that one. Time flies. Like, yeah, I'm old enough to know time flies. But sometimes time flies Spirit Airlines. You're like, what's taking so long? Right? Like, who is running this program? I was trying to get there, and I'm still here, and somebody get me off of here. It's like, sometimes life takes the bus too. So I'm all right with it. I grew up with 3 sisters, and we're still in touch. We're a pretty tight family, and we were talking the other day, and we realized, when we were little, we dealt with a lot of anxiety and trauma, and we didn't have the words for it then. We just called it mom and dad, and it was. It's not that unusual, right? It was a tough love household, and my dad especially, and he had his demons. He did, and at least that's what he called us, and but he was depressed, alcoholic, self-medicating, and dealt with it his whole life. Eventually, he was diagnosed Irish Catholic. So, it turns out that's hereditary. No cure. Runs in the family. But it's not contagious, so don't worry. It's not contagious. Unless I don't use a condom. Then, things spread. Little birth control joke with the Irish. Why not? What? The tough love household. We would, when we were very little, we'd be upset. We're crying. And my dad, he would threaten us all the time. He's like, I'll give you something to cry about. It's like, dude, read the room. You already did. I think what he meant to say was like, I'll give you something additional to cry about. There was no shortage of things to cry about. That is for sure. And dinner time was like his own personal TED Talk on table manners. Which, the one is a good thing. I learned at a very young age how to hold a fork, how to hold my knife, how to hold my tongue. All the essentials. And I'm happy for it, for sure. Parts of it. There was certainly positive. I'm standing here, doing okay. There were positive aspects of it for sure. I don't need to throw the guy under the bus. I think my interest in cooking and in clothes come from him. He he cooked a little bit. His signature dish, he made an amazing shepherd's pie, just layered in with garlic mashed potatoes and ground beef and corn, and then he'd season that up with his own special mix of anger and resentment that really infused it with a certain je ne sais quoi. Clothing, I mean, he worked in sales, so back in the day, he was always wearing a suit. He paid a lot of attention to what he wore. He paid a lot of attention to what his kids were wearing, and he would tell me, he's like, dude, if you've got pants on with belt loops, you got to have a belt on, or you're not properly dressed. That was just the way it was. And he was true to it. I never saw him without his belt on, except when he was hitting me with it. But to be fair, to give him credit, it always matched his shoes. He was a style guy. He was. I went and visited him after about 15 years of estrangement. I tracked him down in upstate New York, paid him a visit, and I'm walking down the hallway to see him, and he steps out of his apartment to greet me, and it's been more than a decade, and I'm like, in that moment, I realize, wow, that's how my hair is going to look in 30 years, And it's true. I've still got some for sure. So, again, positive. Shout out to Dad. Mom was much mellower. I mean, not as much of a disciplinarian. When she got mad at me, she came at me with the paddle. She had a paddle. Yeah, there was a day when companies, I guess, made paddles to hit kids with, right? It was legitimately like that's what it was for, and it's kind of funny to think about that when probably like in the early '80s when parenting philosophies shifted and the child abuse industrial complex had to pivot and figure out what are we going to do with all these paddles? It's tough. I mean, whenever I'm at a dinner party and I see an empty charcuterie board, I think of my mom. I do. It's triggering, but it's not. I think of my dad when I put my belt on too. So that's happening. Mom and dad growing up with three sisters. Man, talk about male privilege. That was good while it lasted. It really was. They're still nice to me, but you grow up with three sisters as the only boy. I got my own room. I got my own pizza. It was good. I could lock the door. Nobody walks in and surprises me when I'm studying. You were talking about going to the doctor. I went to the doctor the other day. It's my birthday, just the annual situation. I went to my doctor, Dr. Noodleman. Yeah, Dr. Noodleman, Italian. Now, don't worry, I would never use his real name if I could think of a funnier one. So, Dr. Noodleman it is. It was awkward, Dr. Noodleman. I had to have my prostate checked, and raise your finger if you identify as having a prostate. Yeah, it's just one of us. Two of us. That makes two of us. So anyway, when he pulled out, well, I don't know if that's the right term. I'm like, how did, you just said your finger in my butt. What, say something. How am I doing? And he looks at me, he's like, your prostate's a little chubby. Like, chubby? I mean, your fingers are chubby. My sister Erin in 4th grade was chubby. I don't think that's a medical term. I mean, are you being polite? Are you telling me my prostate's fat? Hey, your prostate's fat. Bad news is your prostate's fat. The good news is it's got a great personality. What? Chubby. He said, I'm fine. He's like, don't worry about it. You're fine. You'll be fine. I'm like, okay. Thank you very much, doctor. And he's like, any other issues? And I said, yeah, actually, I've got this little bit of fungus on one of my toes, and I've tried all the things, and I cannot get rid of it. And he's like, man, that's nothing. That's not dangerous. And I'm like, I know it's not dangerous, but I live in L.A. I live at the beach. I've got new sandals I'm going to be wearing this summer. I teach yoga. I know it's not life-threatening, but I'd like to cure it. He's like, just put a sock on. Wear socks. Like where? What? I came to you for medical advice, not fashion advice. Like, what socks on? And this would be like going to my mechanic with my check engine light on, and the mechanic going, just put some tape over it. It'll be fine. It's like Dr. Noodleman. I might need to replace him. I'm going to leave it there. I'm Sean O'Connor. Thank you.
Are you open any notes?
What's that?
Tonight was one of the best nights you had.
Oh, that's so nice.
And
You heard it here.
And you know what you have to do? You're throwing away the first part. Too easy. Don't do that.
When you say the first part,
The first part when you were just do the very beginning again. When you were talking.
My birthday?
Birthday, Irish. The one thing you have to be is more specific. You only got specific at the end. You have, if you are Irish, you have Erin, Patty, whatever.
Yeah.
Like the specificity, even if it's not real, which
Right.
is just so funny with Sean on top of it all.
Right.
And living with these three girls who are always in your, the good part. That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
say. The good part is that you can lock your room and they don't fuck with your makeup. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just,
Yeah. Exactly.
And but you said something before that, and you just so that means it cannot be that. It has to be sharper. It's funny. Tonight was like, I'm not saying you're not funny.
I'm not hearing that either.
Okay, I'm just saying that tonight was the best of like really getting it out. But now you have to have people, places, names, and things. It was the belt too. It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And if you the belt loops are for like for one thing, this and for you. No, so maybe we could think more also about the pants. I was thinking, after that, didn't want to wear a belt, but the manners.
TED Talk, table manners.
TED Talk, table manners. Yeah, break it down, like really,
Yeah.
because
Well,
you must be like
I mean, we learned, right?
yes.
Your napkin goes on your lap, please and thank you, and when you pass the salt and pepper, they never get separated, unlike my parents.
Right. There you go. Right. Boom. Bada boom. But at least you have love for that one just now, because it came off your head. You got to have that same love for the beginning of that bit,
Mm-hmm.
which makes me Irish Catholic, whatever you had said.
Right.
And that gets into it.
Right.
Gets into it. And at least your prostate joke is not the usual. They're boring.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Chubby is funny. Right. Chubby is funny. At least it's
Chubby's cute.
Chubby's cute, but like you're Irish, you gotta have some names, man. That shit's so great when you see Patty, and Patty,
Yeah.
and Patricia and Trisha.
Yeah.
You must have something that's gonna roll off your tongue like that. Like Rashi, Joaquin, Kaliman, Rahman. Those are my cousins. I just happen to be able to say that. But you said Erin at the end, so.
No, exactly. Yeah.
But
I've
don't
done it
say-
different ways. I've named my siblings instead of the demons, right?
Right. We love that.
Right.
Because Satan's my
Right.
No, Lucifer's the baby.
But I've also done it with and he had his demons. He called them Sean, Kelly, Aaron, and
There
Ellen.
you go.
There
you go.
So.
Right. And oh my God, it's so harsh. What's the other one? Sean can't wait.
Kelly, Aaron,
course.
and Ellen.
And I just thought it was a great set, and
Thank
that
you.
you should take this one and really work it.
I am.
I
That's
mean,
why
I
I'm
know
here.
You're here.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I always want to thank you for being polite too.
What?
I'm kidding.
What did you say?
Thanks for always being polite.
Well, thank my father. Thank
He's
John.
gonna taught you.
Thank Big John.
Yes, Big Bad John. All right, it's my turn to hold the camera. How do you hold that first, Sean?
Of course.
All right, because I'm going to tell you something. I know. You know I have I have all these stands here. It's crazy.
Say hi to TikTok. They're
TikTok.
there's a lot of people.
Oh yeah, I gotta talk to TikTok. Tick tock, you don't stop. It's a comedy that makes your body rock. So far you heard my voice, but I brought two friends along. She's got two personalities. She's my friend, and sometimes we sing that song. Check it out. Say, where's my keys? Where's my car? I lost my left shoe. But the one thing she never says to me is, hey, where's my boo? Cause I'm 5'4" and I'm full of fun and I got a broken toe. But she takes me out and when I fall down, picks me up wherever I go. Okay, so we're gonna bring up the comedy of the one and only Samantha Linderman, ladies and gentlemen. Tick-tocking, tick-tocking, keep tick-tocking.
Everybody, clap it up for Sunda Kronquist. For yourselves. TikTok, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for you live stream watchers. I am addicted to this app that you're on right now. And we're real life people. They're like, is this comedy? Are you guys just talking? It's like, you should be so lucky to hear real conversation. I'm sorry. When I am so lonely and I am on TikTok for hours, I'm going through live streams. If I just saw people talking to each other like that, that might save a girl. I don't know. We saving lives? I don't know. I'm Sam. I'm so glad Sunda's back. I want to talk about our first day seeing each other back because it's been a while. And if you don't know about us, it's the LA School of Comedy. If you think you're funny, you might be, and you probably are, like Sunda says, but you won't know until you actually come in person and see for yourself. Maybe you want to come from the keyboard to the stage.
Right. Funky Friday.
That's Funky Friday. But so we haven't seen each other, and we're like, let's get massages. I have never.
No, it wasn't let's get massages. She's like, what?
No, listen. She's getting one. I'm like, do you want me to come? Fine. I was so nervous. I've never had one before in my life. I get there first. She's like, don't talk on the phone. Like, don't do it. She's like, go in there. She said, take all your clothes off, and then put the sheet over you to cover your whole body, right? But I wasn't ready when she knocked on the door. Like, she came really quick, and I was like, I threw my socks on the floor. She's opening the door, and I threw my socks on the floor, like it was my house, and I was like, I'm so sorry, my socks are on the floor. I was like, you said get comfortable. And she covered me up more. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I didn't realize she was using her feet till halfway through. I opened my eyes, and there's a woman standing on me. And I was like, no, but this is called money's worth. I was like, how does she have 3 hands? She was working me half my size, 3 times my strength. And so it's just too nice to me. I don't know. There were parts I thought I was going to die, and I was like, this is the way to go. This is showbiz. Like, this is like, every time I tried to think of a joke, I'd be like, I couldn't. Like, it was hurting too bad. I was like, I can't even think. And I just wish I had something to say for why I was like this. You know, I'm like, do I say I'm like at a computer all the time? Like, she didn't ask. She has no. It was really. But it's like we hadn't seen each other forever. We couldn't talk for an hour and a half. And there's like a door between, you know what I mean? It was crazy. It's just, we're fasting. We got so much done after that, too. Right? I can't even.
It's true.
You
gotta believe in it.
You have to believe in it. You gotta believe in yourself. Yeah. So I'm from Los Angeles. My mom isn't, but you would never think that she wasn't, you know. My mom's name's Alejandra. My dad's like, when you were going on her first date, I thought she was going to look like Dora. I'm like, did you tell her that? Did she love that, Dad? Dad, did she like that one? Oh, did she love it? She didn't. I don't think he said that on the first date. Sheldon. My parents are hilarious. They're like, why don't you talk more about us? And I'm like, I don't think I physically could if I tried. But here she goes. Sometimes my mom asked me to play this song in the car, Forever Young, and I was like, Mom, that song makes you cry. And it's raining. It was like raining like it is now. I was like, Mom, it's been a hard day. She usually doesn't want any music in the car. I think she's like, play Forever Young. And I was like, are you sure that I should do that right now?
We had to pull over. My mom is so protective of me until it comes to a deal. We were in line, and we had all this stuff. I'm like grabbing all this food, and she's like, "Oh my God, we need to go grocery shopping after this." I was like, "You are so good to me." It's like what Sunda said. She was like, "Your relation." It's like you move out of the house, and it's like I'm there every day. I
Told you.
can't stop going over there. It's a problem. They're like, "We miss you. Never call." I'm like, "What is never?" Because if it's not every 18 hours, then that's never. Then I'm sorry, like that's never. It is crazy living 15 minutes away from them, and they'll be like, "I never see you," and I'm like, "It's the rain." You guys ever take a rain check on a date, and it was like the one day it wasn't raining? So awkward. I should have used a different terminology. It's like the one time in LA you can't really say rain check. It was like whatever. I canceled on a date to go on another date, both first dates. And it was fun. I got there and it was like, because in my head I'm like, oh, obviously it's TikTok, I can't see your comments at all right now. This is like really good therapy, I think. No, because I was sitting there reading, like I get to read the comments and then I get to go back and hold the live stream and look. So like, this is free therapy. No, it's not. It's not. Anybody have to break up with a therapist? Anybody have a therapist say, "Am I being ghosted?" Ghost emoji.
Oh,
Question mark to you. Because that happened to me. And I'm like, Larry, I know it's just a ghost emoji, but the ghost emoji happens to have like the tongue like this. I was like, am I being ghosted? And I'm like, I know you're in a loving gay relationship, but like, it's like, I saw that and I was like, I was like, what app is this? I was like, is this Tinder? I was like, oh, this is my therapist. Am I being ghosted? I was like, you failed. If what you're asking me is, was I paying too much for absolutely nothing? Yes. You know? And I don't know, it was an office and it was like, there's a big window. And I just don't like that. I'm in therapy. I'm seeing people walking by and I swear to you, this is a true, anyways, this happened to me. I'm sitting in therapy and I see somebody go up the stairs and she looks at me and she goes, like up and down, like pink lipstick here, like what? I wouldn't have said anything. I didn't say anything, but I wouldn't. But you're gonna look at me with this on your face, with like the Target logo on your face. She comes back down the stairs like 20 minutes later and she looks at me and she goes, and I'm in therapy. And I'm like, are you booing me? Like what? Like it was crazy. It was crazy. That's LA though. You ever hold the door open for somebody and then you just feel such regret? They look at you like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, that's weird. Like that's weird to me. My dad is, he's like why I am the way I am. He tried to write a joke for me. He said, how about somebody says to you, why are you like this? I'm just like my dad. What's wrong with it? No, he said it so much better. I got to get him up here.
Okay. You
One
have
day.
to get Sheldon up
I
here.
know. It's like, it's going
Sheldon,
to, is he watching? No, they're watching something else actually, I think. Sometimes they watch this and I have to tell them not to. I have a sister who's 20 years older than me, and I have a sister who's 5.5 years younger than me, and it's like kind of a beautiful thing. Like we're all kind of just rapidly experiencing life at all of the stages all the time. My little sister's 1,000 years smarter than me, but she didn't have to have a bat mitzvah because of COVID, and that's when I knew I was like, oh, so this is real. I'm like the government, everything. I was like, she's not. We live across the street. That's crazy. Like that's when you know. Because my parents are like, oh, we're not doing that Zoom. We did a Zoom Seder once. That was really hard. That was hard on grandma. My grandma trying to go on the computer. I don't know that my dad had to take her driving test for her. I'm too scared to drive. Okay, I'll say one last thing. My Uber driver almost hit me today, trying to get in the car. Because again, I'm always trying to be too nice. You know, like he was like turning to come get me, and I'm about to cross the street, and he almost hit me. And I was like, do I say something? One time somebody ran over my foot. I didn't say anything. I just got back in the car. I was like, I know he has a drinking problem. Anyways, I'm Sam. TikTok. If you guys like doing this, come here. 1083, right? 10835 Santa Monica Boulevard.
Yeah.
LA School of Comedy. For everybody, we're here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sign up 6:30. Showtime's at 7. We have our show on Sunday starting back up soon. We have kids classes. We have adult classes. We have Get rid of your kid. Get rid of your adult.
Get
Get rid of your boyfriend. Put it.
Run.
Run.
Run
night.
here. Good night. Thank you, Sam. Now, guess what? Get back up here.
And end it.
No. Listen. Let's
Get
do
back.
this real quick.
Okay.
Right here. So what we're going to do is
We're live. Okay.
we're going to start with my parents want me to be in the act, which is so ironic because it
They
didn't
are my-
start out like this. I come home and then you get to the computer. You understand? You got to get this 5 minutes down.
You want me to say that right now?
You need to do it. You're here. She wants you to do it. But we're
My computer right now.
think of what you're doing.
Okay.
For a set.
Okay.
Because you all say the same thing. I'm so tired of my set. Do you know your set?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Just 2 more minutes, you guys? You good with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're gonna do
You're
it.
right. Okay. So my parents want me to be in my act, which is hilarious because it did not start out that way. You know, like they made the comedy, but they weren't happy with it. You know, because it's not the nice stuff that you're gonna talk about up here. I was thinking about this. You shouldn't be worried about having like Taylor Swift. You should be worried about having a comedian in your life, anyways. So I no longer live with my parents, but when I did, my mom would clean my room, which was just look through my room and then bring it up in conversation. Oh, I found this in your room. What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like normal. Like, you know, I'm cleaning your room. No, you're not. So I'm with my 2 best friends, who obviously my parents hated at the time. And because we were
Is this with the
marijuana
shaved head
users,
time?
this was pre-shaved head era.
Okay.
This was even before.
Pre-shaved head
This was
smiley
this is
face.
pre. That's true.
Specificity.
This was my pre-shaved head smiley face. Sam era. P.S. That's era. So I was with my best friends who obviously they hated because everybody was a little bit gay and there was a lot of weed. I mean, that's what it was. And I was like, I thought you guys, we're the 60s, right? In your living room. What are y'all looking? We're at right now. I'm doing it. I'm bringing it back, baby. No. So I get this text from my dad. And it starts out and it says Samantha. I'm like, who is that? I'm named after a Sam. Okay? Samantha, your mother. I'm like, no, who is that? Your mother has found some hardcore porn on your computer. I've never seen her this upset. I was like, don't we wish that was true? Father, you have years together on me. I'm saying you should get, we know, is the most upset ever. I've never seen her this upset. I don't know what to do. I call my mom and I say, obviously, what were you doing on my computer? Which is like not what you're supposed to say. You know what I mean? I was like, hey, what were you doing on my computer? I was cleaning your room. The room that should have been clean. I'm like, great. I was cleaning your room and it was falling. And I was like, really? It was falling and it pressed play and it took notes and you showed dad and my sister's crying. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it was falling. I had 2 tabs open. How to give a good blowjob. How to suck a cock. Looking back, I see why she was embarrassed. I should have said how to suck cock well. And it's like, I went to a good school. And I was like, now I know what's hardcore. Now I'm like, this is too much. I was like, you should. But the worst part is when she goes, Samantha, is this what you want to do with your life? And I'm like, with my life, Mom? I'm looking up how to. Like, you think that this is my life? I want to put my life into this? And I'm in how to? Come on. You gave me a computer. I'm going to look up how. Not when. It's how. That's it. Thank you so much.
No, okay. Don't throw it away like that, though. But you know, the next time, you're going to take out all those words in between.
Yeah.
And we're going to be like, so, and I want you to act her out. You've already
I
said her
know.
name. You've already said her name, and we already have this genteel feeling about her. And
Samantha.
I just love the fact that that's how Mark writes when the kids will be like, your mother,
Your mother.
as opposed to. All right, get up for Sam. All right. We're going to work on a few minutes here with a gentleman by the name of Ryan Benson. I want to see what we got because sometimes you're going to have a 3-minute set, Ryan, when you do something. Yeah. And we're going to try that. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But I wish you would try to do this as an actor. Since you're all handsomed up and everything. All right? Mr. Ryan Hansen. Maybe we'll change it to Ryan Hansen.
Hello, everyone. We're here today, and I have a fresh face. I shaved my beard and my hair. I get free haircuts when I do acting gigs. It's a fun life. I don't get much free stuff here. I get this. I'm up here for free, but I help run right now. Whenever run the background and stuff. It's pretty nice. But when I'm not here, I'm sleeping a lot. It's pretty nice. It's good to sleep on days like this, especially. You can't use the left and right lanes anymore. I've tried. My car won't allow it. I've been driving around here. I like driving a lot. I'm pretty intense. I've gotten used to it, but I helped my friend yesterday, Vinay, drive. He should be getting his driving test today. I don't know how he'll do based on yesterday's results. He's driven in India. He's a big boy. You wouldn't think he's the stereotype for an Indian person is, they're not really big and muscular. He sets it apart. He stands out. He does set a stereotype though by being a doctor. So he got that one. He's smart. He's way better than me in most things in science and stuff, making rocket engines for the Navy. I'm pretty sure he's killing people with with his code. He doesn't really say much, He has a strong accent, so he keeps quiet. But I'm getting him his license. I helped him out. He's using my car. He's used to being on the right side and having a clutch and stuff, so he's confused. But he was my chauffeur for a bit. It was slow. It pissed me off. He ran one red light, so I now can deport him. I have that. I'm holding that against him. I'm making sure that he has nothing. It's okay. We went to but where was I going to take him? I'm going to look. I went to my favorite place is pet store, and Lowe's. Look at plants, and he was going to pay for me for stuff. So I was like, cool. So, but I didn't find any good stuff at PetSmart. He almost got me to buy a hamster. He was like, you want this cage? I buy for you. You take care. And I'm like, I don't. It's like you'll never see it. Hamsters are nocturnal. It sucks, and they live only like 2 years, and they die of cancer. So, it's not my thing. I would rather die of cancer longer, And you can't really cuddle them. I roll over, but But we went to Lowe's at the end. We got a Venus flytrap because we have a cockroach infestation where I live. It's pretty cool.
Oh my God.
It's how we kind of deter other people from coming. We show off the cockroaches of the sticky trap. It's a cool place. I love it. I love South Central LA. It's fun to have graduated from USC, but when I look outside it, I don't feel like a Trojan anymore. It's a sad thing. But at the end of the day, I got nothing else to say. My name is Ryan Benson.
Don't assume the audience.
Thank you.
Knowledge. God bless you. Yes, give it up for Ryan.
Thank you, TikTok, for letting me talk for a bit. I love you. Bye. Good night.
No, hang up for a minute. You got this guy.
I gotta hang out.
This might be something. This is again with the same guy.
Yeah.
You do really good with this guy.
Yeah. Vinay is a good guy.
No, you are funny with this guy. The way you you can say something like, the threat, like, I'll eat your candy, like that's, and it's just thrown away like that. It's so funny. And the other thing is, you have to say something about, what did you say about, tell me why you like driving mine. Not many people will admit to that they like it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No. I mean, I like having like an enclosed space away from the world while driving at a reckless speed. I have a lot of control there of life and death. I choose life most of the time, but you never know. Days like today, I was in a lot of traffic, so it makes me dislike it. I'll sing a lot, so it's a lot of just, it's really, I can only like sing really loudly in the car. Still, even though I try to do it, it's like a full I can't. I can't fully like if it was a shower, if I could sing in a car shower would probably be the best singing. I don't. That'd be pretty nice. I bet the next Tesla would have that. I like my car. It's got the battle wounds of a good driver. You see it's the dents over there, so you know it's not worth much. It's all been me. All the dents around from me. It's a beautiful car. It feels like a go-kart, so that's why I like driving around here. I can park anywhere. If I hit you, I'll give you my insurance card that's been expired for 4 years. And what card? Oh, card is a Jeep Renegade. It's
All right, tell us.
Jeep Renegade. If you want to know, you can get it probably for $10,000. Selling it if you want it. I don't know. It's a good car. It's got Bluetooth. You know, I can show you. You can go on my YouTube channel. I can show you a good review of it. You know.
And how does Vinay like it when you drive him?
Vinay likes my driving, but it scares him a bit. We've gone to Costco a lot. That's what I get him to do. For me, he has a Costco card. I don't know how he got it, but he got one. So we go there, and they get angry at us for going there, and only using his. But Jeep Renegade, shout out to Jeep. I'm hoping they sponsor me one day. But I'm gonna take off, everyone, because the rain calls me. It's calling for me.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's the actor.
Thank you, LA School of
I
Comedy.
love the end. Do the end again. It was like the rain calls me. Yes. You know. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. And that was great. For some reason, this roommate of yours is fantastic. The roommate. Every time roommate's around, we're gonna bring him to an opening in Vegas. This is TikTok, right? Mm-hmm. So TikTok. Let's talk. Why are you guys talking and ticking instead of coming over here and doing what we do? We're going to be starting a TikTok class. Not many people have done that. We're going to be doing it at April 14th, after April 15th rather. And if you're in New Jersey, I cannot forget this. Please follow Mike Marino live because I don't know my dates. I'm going to be in Bound Brook, New Jersey at the Count Basie Orchestra Theater. And I'm going to be in New Jersey, in another place. It's called Welcome to the Family. It's an Italian show, and Mike Marino, God bless your dad, just passed away. I wanted to say that, and of course my friend Barry Katz was never on TikTok, but I love you, Barry. Rest in heaven. And you're not going to be in heaven. You're going to be drinking beer. And I have to tell you a story about Barry though. This is funny because I was going out with this guy. And I was telling my friend all the time, like all these dates I was going on when I was a kid. And years later, I find out that my friend, who is the investor here, was Barry's sister. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking to you. I know. I find out that this guy I've been seeing for 2 years is my friend's sister. I mean, brother. She's a sister. And you're going to say what's so weird about that is that he has dark. They don't look anything alike. But anyway, I was saying rest in peace to Barry because he passed away, and at the very end, he remembered everything. And never mind the dog. He said, "Sunda, come over here." He goes, "Come on, we're gonna just let's just give it one last time." He says, "When are you coming out here?" This is before he dies, right? And he says, "Put me through all that shit." He goes, hitting the cop, and his sister goes, the other sister goes, "Sunda, he's on morphine. He doesn't know what he's talking about." And I was like, he's telling the truth. It's he's telling the truth. He started telling the truth. So he was my character witness. Here's the story. Jersey's a very special place. Jersey, you get a ticket for driving with flip-flops. All right? Jersey, you go on probation for 3 years for roaches in your car. That's how crazy Jersey is. I'm going to my car, and a policewoman is standing there with a ticket book. And she says to me, "Can you step aside? I can't read your license plate." And I'm like, "It's 943 LCE. Is there a problem?" And she says, "No." And I go, "Well, what are you doing?" I go, "There's money in the meter." I don't understand. There's money in the meter. She goes, "Count your screws." She goes, "You're missing a screw." I'm missing a screw. Okay, I'm going to tell you. I'm missing a screw. So she looks down, and I go, bam, right? And I knock the ticket book out of her hand, and I'm thinking I'll trip her this way, and I'm jumping in the car, and I'm going to leave. And they blocked me, 5 squad cars. I never get off of Market. I never get off of Market Street in Paterson, New Jersey. They get me, right? So it's assaulting a police officer, and it's just so stupid because what had happened is that when I started high school, I read this article that I thought was so horrible, and the editor says it was this man wrote this story. Why are black men complaining about being stopped? You're jacked up on drugs. You're always high. You don't work. And I'm reading this article. This is, and I just got accepted to it. You got to be smart, go to this school. And I said to myself, who does he think he is? And I write this son of a bitch. And I tell him at the end, I go, look, I'm not a racist. I go, I'm neither black nor white. I'm both. But who are you to talk about black men when I've been in the car and had to get out of the car and been accused of being called a prostitute because I went through this whole thing. They published it. I get called to the nun's office. It's my name. They put my name in the paper. And now I'm in trouble for talking about the police officers. And I could be thrown out of school for this. But thank God that I got over that. And I don't have an anger issue or anything. But I had to have a meeting with Father Bradley that thinks I have anger issues. And he's on the list of priests that are hopping across the country. All right? But you got a problem with me. So why am I telling you this? Is now the cop has got me. Now I got to go to the fucking court now, the freaking court. And I have a character witness with me. And that's my friend Barry Katz. He's a fireman. He's the one that, with the dog, when I found the dog. And he's like, son, I don't want to go with you. There's always something going on with you. We get in the court, and they say they're going to get me for contempt of court for falling asleep. Now, this is crazy. Only in New Jersey can I go to jail now because I'm dozing off, all right? I guess I wasn't really dozing. It's when you're like this, when you go. And so Barry keeps telling me to wake up, all right? He's like, son, wake up. So I had to bring a character witness because, I'm a criminal justice person, student, da-da-da-da. And they go through this whole thing, and I say out loud, it's a lie. I said, she made a pass at me. She's a lesbian, Your Honor. Oh, my God. The bailiff comes and pulls my jacket, and my sleeve comes off my arm, and it's a tweed jacket, and I'm pissed. It's a nice jacket. It was not. I didn't tell you the other. That was the other part, okay? Because listen, she's been looking at me for a long time to clean her, so I don't give her the time. Now you're gonna give me a ticket? Don't play this game. Now, the judge says we're gonna call to the stand Fireman Barry Katz from Paterson. So, like, Mr. Katz, what do you have to say on behalf of Sunda Kronquist? And he goes, I had nothing to say.
Oh my God.
And he walks away. Barry walks away. He goes, son, I know people. He keeps telling me. Okay. Now the judge says, I have to just say this in consideration of an established university that's been around since Mother Seton in 1887 or something. He goes, and I want to send my son to Seton Hall University thinking this is the smartest people, the wisest people, never thinking such an asinine, foolish, moronic person would even step on the stairs and grace the university. But he let me go on my ROR, and I have to go to jail. Isn't that a good story? Yeah. Isn't that a crazy story? Yeah. He pulled my arm sleeve. Tweed. So, I was just telling you guys who went to TikTok, because if you're on TikTok, you went to my school and you know that I got hit. You know that? And we don't get hit anymore, but that's the other thing I wanted to bring up. Paddles. Which is like the #1 club in Manhattan. Did you know that?
No.
That's a good one. Because, like, why were they making them? Think about that. Who was manufacturing them? That's the joke that I couldn't read in my handwriting for you. That's your note. So, guys, that was a lot today. Now you know what we do. Once in a while, when there's not a lot of people, we're able to work it out, but don't think you're all getting this. You're going to come here and have a great time. I had a great time. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Samantha. And thank you, Sean. And thank you, TikTok. You don't stop. Follow us.